my name is Daria, welcome to my channel, and today I will be sharing with you my update for project Level Up. This project was created by Sofie Alexandra, I will link her down below, and basically this project contains pencils, eyeshadows, pencil palette, no pen left behind, so a lot of different projects. You will be leveling up, and each level you need to hit certain amount of pens and use eyeshadows in your palette certain amount of times. So on level 1 you need to use each shade in your eyeshadow palette once and hit one pen. On level 2 you need to use each shade in your eyeshadow palette twice and hit 2 pens, and so on. I've been working on level 4. I wrote in my palette last update, and basically it means that I need to hit 4 pens in this palette and use this palette 4 times. I've been working on this season palette from Cosmic Beauty, and it's one of my favorite palette in my whole collection. I really love it. So I have quite a fun story to tell you today because I'm refilming this video. It's the second time that I'm filming it because I've tried my new lighting yesterday. It was the first time that I've tried it and I thought everything was going well, but when I watched the video back I've understood that it was really bad and I didn't want to put it on my channel. Today I'm also filming with my new lighting, but I put it in a different place. I tweaked with it a little bit and I think that it's quite nice, but I won't be refilming this video again. So if I watch it back and I understand that, well, it's not quite what I wanted it to be, I will still post it on my channel. But what's fun about it is that I've used this palette one more time today and I've made quite an amazing progress on it. So let me show you what this palette was looking like last update when I rolled it in. As you can see, this palette wasn't unused by any means, but we didn't have any pens in this palette, but we had a lot of dips going on. And since it's my level 4 palette, I need to hit 4 pens in this palette and use each shade 4 times. So that's what the palette is looking like today, and I hope you will be able to see some big changes in this palette. So I will show you it up close once again, and I hope you will be able to see that we hit 3 pens in this palette, and 2 of these pens I hit today in this look. So if everything would have been okay with my yesterday video, then I would have only 1 pen in this update, but since I'm refilming this video and since I've decided to use some of the shades once more today, I have 2 more pens and I'm really happy about it. But let's step back a little bit. As of yesterday, I've hit all of my uses goals, so I've used each shade in this palette at least 4 times, which is great. I wasn't expecting to do it, but we need to remember that I've pre-filmed my last update quite a bit, so basically I've had a month and 10 days to work on this palette. And also I was traveling in August quite a bit, and for one of my travels this was the only palette that I brought with me. So basically I think that's why I was able to use each shade at least 4 times and heat-free pens. But let's talk about shades that I've used more than 4 times in this palette. And first of them is this shade Decorations. It's this first shade in the palette. It's a really nice green shade and I've used it 6 times since my last update. Then we need to move on to shades with pen, and first of them is this shade Celebrate. And I've hit this pen quite a long time ago. I've used it 10 times since my last update and 10 times in total in this project, but I've hit pen on my 8th use in this project. And it doesn't mean that I've used this shade only 10 times or only 8 times to hit pen. It means that I've used this shade in this project 8 times to hit pen. I don't have right now my total uses on any of these shades, but I know for a fact that I've used them more than 8 or 10 times or even 4 times, because I've used this palette quite a bit before it was rolled into this project. And I think that I've had at least 5 prior uses on each shade in this palette, but don't quote me on that. So let's move on to Fairy Lights, and this eyeshadow has a tiny little pen in it, and I've used it 8 times since my last update. And I think the last 3 or 4 uses I've used it in my inner corner and also in the middle of my lid. So basically I've used it in 2 different ways in my eye looks. But I've managed to hit this tiny little pen just today on my 8th use in this project. And of course I use this shade a little bit more, maybe a couple of more times, in order to expand this pen and make it more visible. And the last shade that I've used more than 4 times in this palette is shade Bubbles. It's this last shade with the pen. It's a really gorgeous purple shade and I really like it. So I've used this shade 9 times since my last update and I hit a pen in this shade on my 9th use in today's look. I use it on my lower lash line, and basically that's how I mostly use this shade, because I was telling you in my last update that I wouldn't want to concentrate on these deeper shimmers just because I'm not in the mood to wear really deep looks really often. But I don't know, I've just started using this shade on my lower lash line and sometimes in my outer corner. I think I've used it in my outer corner for initial uses, and then I've just tried once to use it on my lower lash line and I liked it quite a bit. And also I've thought that I made quite a good progress on it in 4 uses and I saw quite a big of a dip in it, and that's why I've decided to concentrate on it a little bit further, and I've used it, like I said, 9 times, so 5 more times in order to hit pen on it. So we have 3 pens in this palette and I've completed all of my usage goal, so it means that I need to hit 1 more pen in it, and I think it will be either in Decorations or in Candlelight. I love both of these shades and I use Decorations 6 times and I've used Candlelight 4 times, but I feel like I have a bigger dip in Candlelight. I'm not sure why, maybe I've used it more before rolling it into this project, but yeah, I will be happy with hitting either of those pens. I haven't decided yet on which shade I will concentrate, just because yesterday I thought that I will be focusing on these two purple shades, and now I basically don't need to do it because they have pens. Of course I will still use them 1 or 2 more times in order to expand these pens, but basically now I can concentrate on other shades in this palette. I love both decoration and candlelight, and I'm working on green and orange in my pencils eyeshadows, so I'm not really sure on which of these ones I want to concentrate yet. But I'm so happy with the progress that I managed to make on this palette. I wasn't expecting to be able to make such a good amount of progress just in a month. I really wasn't expecting it. Well, technically in months and 10 days, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. And since I've met all of my usage goals on this palette and hit 3 pens, I've decided to roll in my level 5 palette. Yeah, I want to be able to complete level 5 by the end of the year, and I feel like hitting 5 pens in a palette and using each shade at least 5 times will be quite a challenge for me. So I've decided to start working on it a little bit early. And so by the end of the year we have 3 more updates, so like 3 more months, which is insane to think about, but I really hope that in 3 months I will be able to complete my level 5 in this project. So I have my Tiny Decision app here, and basically some of the palettes are blacked out, and it's because they are either in different projects or they already have a pen in them. So my ultimate goal is to have pens in all of my eyeshadow palettes, so I will be rolling from palettes that don't have pen in them. But also, since it's level 5, I think I will roll a couple palettes. I think I will roll up to 3 palettes, and then I will choose one from them. But if like on the first roll I will get a palette that I really want to work on, then of course I won't be rolling again. But let's see. So the first palette is Nabla Wild Berry palette. I'm not sure that I want to work on it, to be honest, so let's roll again. Oden Little Ghost. I'm not sure what it is. Let's roll one more time, and then I will choose a palette from these 3 roll-ins. By Beauty Bay Botanical palette. It's quite a big palette, but let me get all 3 palettes and I will show them to you, and then I will choose my level 5 palette. So the first palette that we rolled in was my Nabla Cutie palette in the like shade Wild Berry, I think. And that's what it's looking like. And on the one hand, it will be quite easy to hit my 5 uses on this palette because it has only 6 shades in it. But on the other hand, I'm not really sure in which shades I will be able to hit pen. Well, of course, it has to be 3 shimmer shades, but also two matte shades, which will be quite difficult, I think. But maybe not. You know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that maybe I want to work on this palette, to be honest. But let's see other palettes that I wrote in. So the second palette was Little Ghost from Oden, and that's what it's looking like. It was a Halloween collab with Angelica, but I'm not really sure that it's a Halloween palette for me, and also it's very, very bright. On the other hand, I think I'm rolling it in the second time in this project, and yeah. And also I think these pens have less product than pens in my Nabla palette. But I'm not really sure which shades I would love to hit pen on this. So yeah, I'm not really sure about this palette, to be honest. And the last palette that I wrote in is my Botanical palette from by Beauty Bay. And let me show you inside of this palette. So that's what it's looking like. And unfortunately, I haven't touched it. I've just acquired it in my collection not so long ago, so yeah. It looks like a really, really nice palette, but I'm not really sure that I want to work on it, to be honest. Well, if I'm not sure, then I feel like I should just stick with the first palette that I wrote into this project. So I will be working on this small palette from Nabla. It's Wild Berry palette, and that's again what it's looking like inside. I think it will be easy to hit my usage goal, but I might have quite a difficult time with hitting pen on this palette. Each pen has about 1.3 grams of product, so it's a little bit bigger than normal pen sizes, but yeah, we will see. I feel like I will concentrate on these 5 shades, so every shade except from Botanic Juice, just because I'm working on a lot of pink shades in my Penset palette right now. I think at first I will use each shade 5 times, and then I will decide on which shade to concentrate. But on the other hand, I'm sure that I will be trying to hit pen in 3 shimmer shades and then in 2 of the matte, so basically I can concentrate on shimmer shades right away. But my main goal for the next update is of course to hit my 4th pen in this palette, and once again it will be in either decorations or candlelight. But that's it for this video. It was quite an exciting update for me. I wasn't really expecting it, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I hope you will stay with me on my project painting journey. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!